Hello, friends. Jim Nantz. Welcome to opening day here and to the NFL on CBS for the 46th year. It's a great privilege to be sitting alongside, yet again this season, Phil Simms, and we'll be with you all the way through the AFC Championship game in January. It's opening day here, partner. A lot of excitement here.
It is a lot of excitement here, Jim. I'm excited. I know the fans, the coaches, the players, they want to see all the offseason moves. How are they going to pay off for their team this year?
Well, Phil, let's talk about the Jets first and the questions that they have, beginning with Chad Pennington, who had that off-season shoulder surgery. What about Chad?
Well, it is a big question. Everybody wants to see, is he going to be healthy enough to be a dynamic player on the field? He told us last night, my arm was better this week than it's been since I've got surgery. Had some pop and some strength. So he's looking forward to coming out and playing today. But other questions, John Abraham, he missed training camp. Can he be a premier pass rusher? And then the biggest question of all, the New York Jets, if Ty Law becomes the shutdown corner they hope, this Jets team is going to be really tough.
And how about this for the Jets? You know how happy Chad is to have this guy back. Lavernius Coles, after 2 years in Washington, returns to the Jets, where he caught 89 balls back in 2002. And then you've got Curtis Martin, the ageless wonder who led the league in rushing a year ago.
Well, we've been here 2 days in Kansas City. You talk to the players and coaches, they always bring Curtis Martin up. You have to stop him before anything else.
All right, Phil, let's move on now to Kansas City. Of course, the Chiefs a year ago were 7-9, but they averaged over 30 points a game. They became the first team in NFL history to average more than 30, yet have a losing season. They still have that potent offense intact, beginning with Trent Green.
Yeah, the offense is terrific, and Trent Green, he's underappreciated, undervalued around the National Football League. He is a terrific rhythm thrower. He runs a very complex offense, and he can find the open guy down the field. When he's not throwing it, give it to Priest Holmes, terrific runner and a terrific pass catcher.
And then, of course, as far as the pass catcher goes, the main target here is Tony Gonzalez after his 102 catches a season ago. But again, the question here, all about defense with Kansas City. They're just plain awful last year. They went out during the offseason, drafted for defense, free agents, trades. What about them?
Yeah, well, their defense was awful this past year. So you go out and you help it right away. Draft Derek Johnson, dynamic. He's a playmaker on defense. He's going to help them. But then you go out and you also get two defensive backs. You get Sammy Knight and Patrick Surtain, new faces, and they're going to help this Chiefs secondary out a lot because they need it in the backfield. And then you get Kendrell Bell from the Pittsburgh Steelers, dynamic, can rush the passer. He'll help the defense out too.
Real quick, Phil, the UPS game points. What do you see here from Dink and Dunk to Dinger for the Jets?
Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator, he's got to find ways to get it down the field. And then tough and mean offense. Can the Chiefs defense be as tough as their offense they can? They'll be good.
All right, partner. Can't wait to get it started with you. Just minutes away. But first, we're going to go live to FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, where the NFL has a special tribute for the 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina victims.
Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the 4th anniversary of the national tragedy that took place on September 11th, 2001. To honor the memories of those who were lost on that day and the resolve of everyone affected by the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, please rise and welcome Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey.
Oh, beautiful. For spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plains, America, oh America, God shed his grace on thee, yeah, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, yeah.
Oh, beautiful for heroes prove and never-racing strife. Who more than self our country loved, and
You set me up? Did you lose your mind? My marriage has been over for 12 hours.
You can't live in the past, Ben.
Out of Practice. Series premieres CBS Monday, September 19th. In 4 days, 2 past survivors are coming back. Who are they? Find out on the premiere CBS Thursday.
Introducing NFL Sunday Ticket Superfan. A new premium tier package for NFL Sunday Ticket subscribers, featuring Game Mix, 8 live games on a single screen. The Red Zone channel, real-time highlights featuring the biggest plays from around the league as they happen. Shortcuts, every game replayed in 30 minutes or less, and over 100 NFL games in high def. Hope you're enjoying this Superfan free preview. Now keep the action coming all season long. Call 1-800-GIVE-SPORTS today.
No money here.
There's no money.
No money.
Where is it?
Somewhere safe.
This is the safe.
Somewhere safer.
Safer? How?
Hardware encryption, smart cards. You know, digital security.
Who are you?
I'm from the help desk. Who are you?
Cleaning crew? This place is a mess.
On the clock at the United Way draft is, we're just getting word of a trade.
A high-ranking camper at the camping club has just confirmed they have traded up into this slot.
We select Marshall Faulk.
There has to be a bunch of happy campers in St. Louis with this pick. Falk's got a rare ability to lead, which you definitely need out there in the woods.
That way.
Looks like Faulk is ready to report for camp. Get involved in your community. It's what matters.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
One mind, one team, one heart, one player through the hole, one goal from the start to dominate the art of the black and blue and watch your Super Bowl dreams till they all come true.
Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City is electric. Opening weekend 2005, the Jets and the Chiefs, Herm Edwards and Dick Vermeil. They don't come any closer or as colleagues in this league. Vermeil having given Herm his start as a player in the league a quarter century ago. We'll be back.
Subway restaurants present Fresh Starts, a look at teams determined to taste victory this season. Subway, eat fresh. After their success last year, Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger and the Chargers' Drew Brees look to prove they're not just a couple of one-hit wonders in 2005.
Drew Brees, he is amazing.
While New England's Tom Brady looks to stay #1 as the Patriots go for their 3rd straight Super Bowl victory.
And the Patriots are world champions again.
Mr. Fogel, no denying your body's changed over the years.
Yes.
Sir, this committee must know, did you ingest anything that helped create this change in your physique?
Yes.
Go on. Usually a 6-inch turkey breast sub for lunch and a foot-long veggie delight for dinner.
You get those over the counter?
Yes, at a Subway restaurant.
What is this?
Excellent.
We're going to need more evidence.
Am I free to go?
Let the games begin. All right, Priest Holmes, the game about to begin, and temperature in the 80s right now, but expected to go into the 90s. It is warm, and Kansas City will receive the opening kick. Let's first go to Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie?
Jimmy, a lot of changes this year on the Chiefs defense. Dick Vermeil, where do you expect to see the most improvement immediately?
I think from our linebacker core, we're faster. We've got some experience here in Kendall Bell. We've got a starting rookie first-round pick in Derek Johnson. Our secondary is better. We have new starters back there, and Sammy Knight, Patrick Surtain. We're better.
Thanks for the time. Jimmy?
All right, thank you, Bonnie. Just the things you spoke about with that Kansas City defense with Derek Johnson and Kendall Bell, and both Knight and Surtain coming over, but we're not going to see them at first because Kansas City won the coin toss and will receive. Mike Nugent. Opening day, as always, with so many players looked at on special teams during the preseason. Often this is the first time you get these core groups together, and you see a lot of run backs and wild things happening. Special teams week 1. Let's see if it happens here today at Arrowhead. Of course, Dante Hall is back deep. Greatest threat in the return game, and Hall scoots out to the 25 where he's pile driven down by Rashad Washington. Trent Green comes right onto the field, and since arriving in Kansas City in 2001, only Peyton Manning has thrown for more yardage. 16,000 yards in 4 years for Trent. On the right side with Sampson out, Jordan Black gets the start. And for the Kansas City backfield, of course, Priest Holmes. Will see some of Larry Johnson today. McKinnison and Parker, the receivers, and Gonzalez, the tight end. From the 25. Two tight end formation for Kansas City. The toss over to Priest Holmes, and Holmes gains about 6 across the 30. This Jets defense a year ago allowed the fewest first quarter points in the league, only 34 allowed in the entire season in the opening quarter. There's Robertson in his 3rd season. On the offensive front, we'll see Abraham coming into this game. Vilma, 2nd season of his promising career. And Ty Law coming over in the offseason from New England, the 2nd all-time interception specialist of the Patriots. Dante Hall, the 3rd receiver on 2nd down and 4. And here comes Holmes. Holmes across the 50. And then bumped out at the 35. Got a huge block by Tony Richardson to spring him for 35.
Well, I know one guy that's feeling a lot better right now, and that is Dick Vermeil on the sidelines. He was so worried this past week about his offensive line because he knows this team's success, they're built on that offensive line dominating the line of scrimmage, and Priest Holmes shows you after an offseason getting well, look at the speed he has got. And Brian Waters, what a good job up front, opening up the hole up for Priest Holmes.
Waters and Richardson just blowing open that hole. And that's Priest Holmes' longest run. Here's Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson taking off. He's going all the way for the touchdown. Willie Rote this time anchoring that left side of the line. And Larry Johnson on his first handle of the season takes it in for the touchdown.
Boy, did they look strong and explosive on the offensive line. And what a combination. Priest Holmes, he finishes off a long run. Then you bring in a younger, maybe faster, and even a more dynamic running back in Larry Johnson. Starts his season out terrific after a really terrific preseason for himself.
Hines in for the extra point. What a start for Kansas City. Priest Holmes, that was his longest run since 2002, a 35-yard gain, and then the final 35 yards The very next play, Larry Johnson to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Oh, yeah!
All of last season, the Chiefs had 2 rushes on the season of 35 yards or more. They just went back-to-back with 35-yard plays, rushes for touchdown. And Larry Johnson finding the end zone, and Pines kicks away to the Jets rookie Justin Miller. Follows his wedge up the middle, and Miller is collared at the 28. What did you see on the touchdown, Phil?
Well, I saw dominance by the offensive line. Brian Waters, the left guard, 54, what a block. And look at number 77, Willie Rope, 35 years old. Dick Vermeil said he had his best training camp that he's had since he's been a Chief. And again, Jim, you heard Dick Vermeil on Friday. All he could talk about how concerned he was about his offensive line. Well, they've come out, they've shown they're healthy, and once again, they show they are the best run-blocking offensive line in football.
From the 28, the Jets and their new-look offense begins with a toss to Martin, cuts back, and a hard-earned 2 yards. Ryan Sims hit him first. Chad Pennington's first career start came in October of 2002 against Kansas City in his 3rd NFL year. That's when the Pennington era began. On the line, Adrian Jones now on the right side as they lost Kareem McKenzie to free agency. And there's Coles back with the Jets. Pennington, his favorite target. 2nd down and 8. Play action over to Soule, open room, across the 40, galloping inside Chief territory, down to the 43-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 41. 28 yards. McCarron's helped clear the way on that one. Sims already in on the first tackle for the Chiefs defense. Defense that was 31st in the league last year. There's Derek Johnson, the decorated rookie out of Texas. And then Surtain on the left corner from the 41. It's Martin. And flag thrown into the pile, surrounded by Kansas City players. Looks like it might be against Gerald Soule on Derek Johnson, holding Johnson. Larry Nemmers and his crew on hand here in Kansas City.
Well, a couple things, Jim, as you watch this game. What did Herman Edwards say to us? Weather the storm at the beginning of the game. Try to slow them down a little bit, get the crowd out. Well,
holding offense, number 33. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
They haven't done that so far, but Gerald Soule leading the running play. Number 33 comes to block Derek Johnson, 56, and tough call. Did put his hands on the jersey, but it had no factor in the play.
Well, back the Jets to their own 49-yard line.
And one thing you do as an offense, and it was a really good call by Mike Heimerdinger, second play. The defense, when it's trying to show you that it's improved, it's aggressive, you've got to play for them to over-pursue and to overreact. So the play-action pass really fooled them 2 plays ago.
On 1st and 20, it's back to Martin. And no gain. John Browning hit him first. How about the Sims spotlight?
Well, a couple things. When you look at this Jets offense, how will they handle the pressure, the crowd noise, the blitzing, and the defense that's going to really react to everything they see? And, Jim, so much talk about this Kansas City defense. Can they toughen up? That's all Dick Vermeil said to us a couple times. we've got to get tougher. He thinks he's addressed some of those issues this preseason. Gunther Cunningham, pretty tough guy in his own right. This preseason, they were very good against the run.
Derek Blaylock in as a receiver on the left side, and Pennington has hit ball loose. And it looks like Pennington able to go back and get it. Jets recover. Sammy Knight knocked it loose.
You have to be aware of everything when you're playing against Gunther Cunningham's defenses. Chad Pennington said last night, look, I know they're going to come after me. I know they're going to pressure me. Well, very first, right out of the box, Sammy Knight, weak side, the tough side for the quarterback. Chad Pennington never sees him. Nobody on offense picks up the blitzer, and they're lucky they got the football back.
Of course, Knight coming in right on that right arm and right shoulder of Pennington.
You know, Jim, as I looked at it, lucky he didn't get hurt. Eli Manning, the exact play that hurt him during the preseason.
And with the Jets facing 3rd and 28, they call timeout. Crowd has worked to a frenzy here. What a start for the Chiefs.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. Budweiser, the bright color and crisp clean taste you'll only find in the king of beers. And by Wachovia, wherever you are financially, we're right there with you.
MetLife Blimp, Snoopy 1 providing today's aerial coverage of the game here in Kansas City. The Jets come to the line, 3rd and 28. Very uncharacteristic. The Jets in this series versus what they had been doing in recent years. A penalty, a sack, a fumble, but they did recover, and now a little shovel pass by Pennington just to get it away and avoid the sack for a gain of 6. Over to Curtis Martin.
Well, Jim, what you were talking about last year, look at the Jets offense. Turnovers, penalties, sacks, all really down, as good as anybody in the NFL. And you know why? Look what they've done today so far. They were somewhat a conservative offense. They run the football, so it lends to less mistakes. You want to open it up, you want to be more dynamic, sometimes bad plays come with it.
Rookie punter Ben Graham to Dante Hall on the fair catch at the 10. There is a flag down after a 43-yard punt.
That was an awesome looking kick, wasn't it?
It really was. And look at this. Ryan Sims is being carted off the field. Hobbled off right before that last break.
During the kick, holding on the return team, number 55. That penalty will be enforced half the distance from the end of the kick.
Means the Chiefs will come back out, start their second series at the 5. Well, they've got the quick touchdown here on opening day. We're back, and there's the Jets defensive coordinator, Donnie Henderson.
Yep, you know, and those numbers, well, he didn't have to face the Chiefs a whole lot last year, so that always helps your rushing numbers.
Players said he's not been quite as vocal as he had been last year's first season with the Jets.
Well, he set the tone last year. They understand what he wants, and so there's not as much teaching going on, Jim. So they really have been very organized, or they were in preseason. Terrible start for them.
Holmes back at the tailback position, and he takes the toss, and Jonathan Vilma runs him down for a loss. Ty Law also in on the play.
Yeah, that's interesting. Ty Law, Jonathan Vilma coming from the inside his speed. But one thing that's not talked about a lot with Ty Law, and it went unnoticed even in New England. He is tough. He's a big, strong corner, not like a lot of guys who are, you know, slight and long. He is not afraid to come up and make tackles. Very good in the running game from the secondary.
2nd down and 12 for Kansas City from the 3. With a slant, they have the target. It's Horn. Gives him a little room out to the 15. He's near the first, maybe a half-yard shy. And Phil, let's take a look at your spotlight.
Well, just a couple little things to look for in this game today. We talked about it already about the offensive line with Kansas City. And the New York Jets, they give this Kansas City offense a lot of credit. They go, look, they're going to move the football on us. The key for us is once they get down ready to try to score, that we just got to make some plays and have them kick some field goals and not score touchdowns every time.
3rd and less than a yard. Holmes. And he weaves his way across the necessary yardage mark. First down, Kansas City.
You know, Jim, just to show you what the New York Jets, this is a pretty good defense they got. A lot of first-round draft picks. They got some playmakers. But what did Herman Edwards say to us last night? He goes, you never hear this from a coach. Well, if they get down there, if we can hold them to 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals, we got a chance. Now, I did my quick math. That's 30 points.
That's right.
So, this is a all-around excellent offense.
You know, Herm had all of his charts and all of his statistical material to show the players, and there's the run up the middle with Tony Richardson for 4 yards, and of course it showed how potent the Chiefs are at home, as you would expect. Of course, far better than you would know on the road.
Well, they analyze it and they say, they score a lot of points no matter where they're at, and that's how you kind of look at it. And it's they do it. You know, just think about it. Everybody's got, just like the Raiders, Randy Moss. Everybody's got these really high-profile wide receivers. Who do the Kansas City Chiefs have? Eddie Kennison and Sammy Parker, and you go, oh, okay. But they got the running game, the offensive line, the quarterback, and a terrific tight end.
Here they go to the passing game. Looking for Kennison and finding him at the 35, spins away. And Kennison with a huge gain to the Jets, 43. Broke away from David Barrett, and that's a 37-yard gain.
Yeah, David Barrett, he might as well just bow up because it's coming his way today. Even though Ty Law has not played in the preseason, David Barrett, number 36, what patience Eddie Kennison had with the routes. Did you see it? Just kept moving up the field, and David Barrett kind of gave up. And look at the pocket that Trent Green has to throw the football in. But Trent Green, let's see, David Barrett, Ty Law. Well, I think I'd go over and test out David Barrett before I would Ty Law.
4 receivers, and a quick toss over. Tony Gonzalez, his first catch of the year. And it's of the short variety for 5, maybe 6. Victor Hobson bumped them out.
You know what I like about that? And this just explains this Kansas City offense. Let's see, what have we seen, Jim? Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, Eddie Kennison. Oh, now let's get Tony Gonzalez involved. So get them all into the game. Make them feel they're part of it. Get rid of that first catch, that first carry. Trent Green now has thrown a couple passes, so they're all oiled and ready to go.
Dante Hall lined up on a wing to the left, Wilson to the right. Dante Hall runs it for about a yard. So a different formation this time, and the Jets able to read it and defend it. Brian Thomas on the tackle.
I would say they were testing the water right there. There's probably a little package, which they always have with Dante Hall. He can do anything with the football, but it looks like they had a reverse coming. There's a lot of things they can do. Al Saunders calling the plays for this Chiefs offense. And Dick Vermeil, we hear all these crazy numbers. We have about 380 plays, and we'll decide which ones we're going to pull out and run for this game.
John Abraham has come in for the Jets, now wearing number 56. Here's the pass over to Sammy Parker, and another first down. Second-year man from Oregon with his first career start today, and picks up 9 and a first.
You know, they're going to have to change maybe what they're thinking on the Jet defense. This is 3 passes down the field at David Baird, so you might have to start cheating that way just a little bit. Sammy Parker, Dick Vermeil says, I can just say this about it. He is really fast, which is always a good thing to have as a wide receiver.
Kansas City now at the Jets 27, driving for the second time. Pitch over to Holmes, still looking for some room, and nothing there. Not too late to sign up for fantasy football on NFL.com. Live or automated drafts, expert analysis, up-to-the-minute news. It's all there. It's all free on NFL.com or NFL on AOL. Boy, this is, again, a pretty impressive drive by the Chiefs. They've had 3 plays over 35 yards or longer. And this series started back at their own 5.
Yeah, and you know what? Experience on offense and talent. 9 of these players, 9 starters have been together at least 4 years. So that explains why they're so good too.
And Green fires. It's back over to Kennison. Again, it's on David Barrett's side. And it's 1st and goal to go for the Chiefs.
And it's, you know what? We saw 2 short passes. We saw 1 deep over the middle. So you got him thinking a little. And now what do? Deep down the field to the outside. And you got David Barron going, oh my gosh, why are you picking on me so much?
Green has hit his first 5 attempts.
Look at that, 68%, second in the league. You've got a tight end that can make catches in double coverage, a good offensive line, and running back, so you should be good in the red zone.
First and goal to go. Looking over for Gonzalez. Now on the right side, it's Holmes. Vilma dragging him down. Green just got it away in time.
You know, Trent Green, you know, Jim, in the opening, I just say he's underappreciated and just undervalued when it comes about talk about quarterbacks in this league. Good job, pretty good athlete, strong, throws the ball really well. It's easy for receivers to catch, and the only thing that's kept him out of the spotlight is they just haven't had that good success in the playoffs.
12th play of the drive coming up here, Phil. Second and goal on the 3. It's Holmes. Grabbed by the ankles, gets away, and fights to the end zone for a touchdown. Can you believe that? David Barrett had him, and he somehow was able to wriggle free and find the end zone.
I was going to say, what a play by David Barrett, fighting his way through just an avalanche of red jerseys. Look at it. Big Willie Rope, Will Shields, Tony Richardson leading, can't hold on to him. Oh, look at the broken tackles, or look at the missed tackles. The Jets just not running through him and holding on to the running back. More determination by the runners than the defense.
First time they go 75 yards, this time 95 yards. Hines makes it 14-0, exactly what Herman Edwards feared. It's Holmes, now has 10 touchdowns in the last 4 opening days. He's in here in the first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chevy, the new Chevrolets, an American revolution. And by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Now Priest Holmes with the touchdown.
Yeah, Jim, this is not second guessing. I said it right away. I thought he was short, and look at that replay. He is on the 1-yard line. It caught my eye right away, and the Jets absolutely should have challenged because it was going to be 3rd down. And 3rd down and goal from the 1, that's no sense in this league.
Hines again. Boots it to Justin Miller. Miller, look at that speed. Not across the 40 times. People to help force the angle on it, but look at the big run back by the rookie. 50-yard run back for the youngster from Clemson. And that's just the boost the Jets needed because they're down 14-0 in the first quarter.
I'm in the finals. That's awesome.
Yes, it is. Andre Agassi battles #1 Roger Federer for the U.S. Open Men's Championship today on CBS.
We're back in Kansas City, and tomorrow night on The Late Show, Dave's all new with Dr. Phil. And later this month, don't miss Reese Witherspoon, Terry Hatcher, George Clooney. Dave all new all this week. First down, Jets from the 42 of Kansas City. Doug Jolly in the game as the second tight end. Play action, Pennington. Look long, go short, and no gain. And let's get a report from Bonnie.
Well, Jim, it looks like the Chiefs' defensive line has taken an early hit. Starting tackle Ryan Sims questionable with a right foot sprain. Sims coming on. Dick Vermeil told us he had an excellent camp. Kind of had a slow start to his career as a first-round pick, but he is questionable to return. We'll keep you posted, Jim.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. Meanwhile, that was Kendrell Bell, who knocked Martin back after the reception for no gain.
Kendrell Bell did not play much in the preseason, but he's kind of the Ty Law for the Kansas City Chiefs. If he comes through, they know they got a potential star on their hands.
Again, play action, and Chad, good time. There's Coles, and those two reunite for the first official time since 2002. Gain of 11 and a first down.
A lot of space in the middle of the field. Patrick Surtain came across the field, and he looks at Derek Johnson, the rookie, from the outside. He's going to go across, and somebody vacated the middle of the field, and I think it was number 56, the rookie, in the back. You know, you can't chase every car, and that's what Derek Johnson is doing. Excited to see somebody run. He wants to run after him. You've got to be disciplined and stay in your spot.
And stay with the passing attack. Pennington looks down the middle of the field, goes right side, and that catch made by Justin McCarons.
Pass complete to Justin McCarons.
That would a gain of 19 and another Jet first down.
Well, what did Chad Pennington tell us about Justin McCarons? Hey, that's Spider-Man, and that's a nice example of it. He can really reach out, make catches, and make them look easy. He's tall, long, and got those long arms.
Pennington good on his first 5. He kind of had an incompletion in this game as Green true on his first 6. 9th in the league last year in the red zone. Touchdown production. See what the Jets do this time. Pennington. McCarons this time unable to hold on.
The pass was incomplete. It was intended.
Greg Wesley was closing in on him, and McCarons paid too much attention to that.
Oh, and rightly so. It's a long season. Why give it up on the second drive of the season? And there are about, what's the red jerseys in front of the receiver? A quarterback is taught, see in front, 3 defenders right there. Protect yourself.
I'm sure you bought that excuse when your receivers came back to the huddle week 1. Okay, that's fine. I got it. I understand.
Well, it's a little different up here.
Yeah. Second and 10. Jets from the 11. Martin. And hardly anything to work with, maybe 2. Derek Johnson makes the play this time, and his rookie, number 56 out of Texas, was talking to us about how he knew he would have some issues with just breathing and be able to kind of control this whole set. He's never been to an NFL game in his life.
Never had been one as a fan, and of course, never played in one, played in some preseason games, but big, strong, this guy has it all, and it was almost, it's not a disgrace, but it was an injustice that he was still there as the 15th player taken in the draft. He is going to be an impact player for the Kansas City Chiefs.
3rd down and 8 for New York. Closing seconds of an opening quarter owned by Kansas City. Pennington with pressure, fumbles again. Ball loose, picked up. It's Surtain, and the Chiefs force the turnover in the red zone.
That is one of those times that Chad Pennington, he told us yesterday, I want to be more spontaneous, maybe pull it down and run, but the people around him, the defense is swarming. When it's not there, today might be one of those days you need to throw it away quick.
Did they get the playoff in time to beat the down clock?
Yes, they did, because you got to remember it's about 1 second past the 0. They watched through the quarterback to the play clock, so he did get it off in time.
Pennington fumbling for the second time. The quarter has come to a close. 14-0 Chiefs. Well, the Jets talked about how we have to keep our poise. We can't afford to be down 10-0, 14-0 after 1 quarter. But they got the worst case scenario, 14-0, and they've just turned it over when they were ready to put points on the board. Kansas City begins the second quarter with Larry Johnson in the backfield. Play action fake to Johnson, up the middle to Gonzalez, and another Kansas City moving of the chains.
Well, the Jets were ready for the pressure from the Kansas City Chiefs. They only send 3 receivers out. Watch them as they go out. One's going to go across, 2 from the top coming this way. And as you look at it as a quarterback, everybody is covered. All 3, Chad Pennington nowhere to go. And when you're going in to score, the crowd noise, you're here in Kansas City, Jared Allen's the one that knocked it loose. You've got to be a quick thinker and get rid of the football.
Here's Larry Johnson with that incredible burst. His second carry, his first, went 35 yards for a score. This one 5 added to his total. Jared Allen, though, on that one last thing, he was really right with a blocker right on him, able to reach around and create that havoc.
A guy you might hear more about, Jared Allen. He's a second year. He can turn out to be a really fine for the Kansas City Chiefs, a 4th-round draft pick. But Jim, Larry Johnson looks a little different when he gets the ball, doesn't he? You can see it from up here. Big and fast.
Down and 5. They fake to Johnson. Toss it right side. And flag thrown. That's going to be interference against Ty Law. They're trying to hook up with Eddie Kennison.
Defensive pass interference, number 24. Spot foul, automatic first down.
I tell you, this Chiefs offense, they'll put some pressure on you, stopping the run, and they throw it down the field, move the receiver. Ty Law in good position, gets fooled just enough. And he said to us, you know, he feels good, but how will he react once he's fooled? That tells you if you're back as a corner, can you recover once they beat you? And that time he couldn't do it.
And that was a 20-yard penalty and a first down for the Chiefs from the 40 of New York. Over. Larry Johnson got a block, has a first down to the Jets 28. Another 12 yards. Kansas City just so explosive.
Boy, it's so explosive, so powerful, and Al Saunders calling the plays goes, well, heck, I don't know who to give it to. Everybody's hot right now. Look at the block outside. The receivers blocking down the field. Offensive linemen 5 and 10 yards ahead of the runner, and then you give it to this big guy. 3rd year, Larry Johnson really earned his playing time with how he played last year at the end of the season when Priest Holmes got hurt, and also this preseason he was very, very good again.
First down, give it back to Johnson. Cuts back, making another move down to the 22. We have an update, so we'll hand it off to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Hey, Jim and Phil in Pittsburgh. Sophomore jitters, not Ben Roethlisberger, not yet. 5 out of 6, including this 3-yard touchdown pass to the rookie, Heath Miller. It's a 7-7 tie, and then Pittsburgh adds a field goal. They lead it by 3 in the second quarter, guys.
All right, thank you, Greg, as Jeff Reed connects from 44 yards to give him that lead.
What is that sophomore jinx thing? What is that? I hear it all the time.
It happens sometimes. But Roethlisberger able to get the touchdown to a rookie that they've been talking quite a bit about, Miller. That ball right off a Jet player. And Larry Johnson, right off of Larry Johnson's helmet. This Thursday, 2 of the most popular past survivors are coming back. And who are they? You can find out when Survivor Guatemala premieres Thursday at 8, 7 Central here on America's Most Watched Network. John Abraham in the game for the Jets.
Well, you haven't mentioned his name yet, Jim. New number, 56.
Which he says has to do with his birth date.
Yes.
May 6th. Mother said to him, wait a minute. I'm 56 years old. I thought it was a tribute to me. 3rd down, pass play. And is there a flag? They were looking for Dante Hall. Barrett, the defender, and no flag on the play.
Good coverage this time by David Barrett. Goes inside. What now? You talk about recovery. That is a good recovery by David Barrett. He was fooled, able to put his foot in the ground, and goes right back out with Dante Hall, and there was no pass interference on that play.
He'll set up a 41-yard try for Lawrence Tynes. Rookie punter Dustin Colquitt, the holder. Tynes boots it through. And the Chiefs score again. 3 drives, 3 scores. This time they put up a field goal, make it 17-0. Coming up, we've got the Sprint halftime report with Greg and Dan, Shannon and Boomer, and special guest Jerry Rice for all the latest scores and highlights, plus a preview of the U.S. Open men's final, Federer and Agassi, which will be coming up later today on CBS.
Boomer's probably looking at Jerry Rice going, well, if I could have thrown to him, I could have been a star myself.
I'd still be playing, you say.
Of course, let me rephrase that. He thinks he's a star anyway. So.
That's the first one of the year. So here comes Miller. Beautiful run back the last time for 50. Not this time. They shut him down at the 25. Mondays this fall, see why critics are raving about the new comedy How I Met Your Mother. It's premiering Monday, September 19th, here on CBS, America's most watched network. All right, the Jets, how will they recover?
Well, that's right. How will they respond? And you got to start digging into that playbook because the crowd's there. The defense is wanting to make a big play, so you got to keep them off balance, which they've really done so far, the Jets offense.
Over to Curtis. He's stacked up after a 1-yard gain. Kawika Mitchell first to get there. We've got another update. Let's send it back to Greg in New York.
Jim and Phil in Cleveland. Cincinnati's Rudy Johnson didn't start today. Minor suspension that lasted a couple of plays before he got into the action. 1-yard touchdown run gives Cincinnati a 7-3 lead on the Browns in the second quarter.
All right, thank you, Greg. Yeah, that's a minor suspension.
A minor. Greg was looking for some words there. Coach says, okay, we need him. Get him in there. Let's go. No suspending, just fining.
Sit him out the first 2-3 plays. When we get in the red zone, bring it back.
Chiefs defense very good so far against the run.
Second down and 9. Set up the screen. Martin flag down. What a play, though, by the Chiefs defense. Kendrell Bell again in the middle of things.
I don't know where you start, Jim. Carlos Hall overran Jason Fabini. Just the power and the speed. The linebackers so far have made the difference in this Chiefs defense. They're everywhere.
Holding offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
We got Pete Kendall. Curtis Martin with 11 total yards to this point.
Well, it was a screen play, so you want to give a little bit. But on the outside, look at Carlos Hall. He's got them all backtracking, and that just disrupts the timing of the play. Then the linebackers see the screen. They can run, and they can hit. And they're just overpowering right now the Jets players.
4 receivers set on second down and 18. The counter with Martin. He races out to the 29. Derek Johnson knocked him down after an 11-yard gain. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Last year, I would have just sit here and go, it's got to be a draw, because the Jets, the best draw team in football last year, by far. Terrific on 3rd downs anytime. But that time, Mike Heimerdinger, second and really long. Chiefs playing pass, good play call, pick up quite a few yards.
This new look Chiefs defense as the crowd rising to their feet. 3rd down and 7. And another loose ball. Kendrell Bell comes in. Pennington gets it away. Man open. And first down. The Jets somehow escaped that one. That's Curtis Martin with the catch for 14.
Well, that was, it bordered on disaster. This would have been the game if Chad Pennington doesn't get it. But he said to us he wasn't even going to do the shotgun this week because he got nervous. He wants to see down the field. Pennington definitely took his eyes off the snap, trying to see the defense. But look at this. Spontaneous. Off schedule, that's the word, right, Jim?
And that's an off-schedule play is how he would describe it to us.
Make a play when it's not perfect. That's what he wants to start doing more of.
Blaylock, the former Chief, is the running back, but the Jets looking pass. And this one out to the 49 with Holes. Catch and a gain of 6. Boy, Kendrell Bell on that play before has to be kicking himself. He had a great chance to get Chad sacked for a huge loss.
Yeah, he did, but Chad Pennington's a bigger quarterback than people realize. But you know that off schedule, just to talk about it. In other words, it's not always going to be perfect. And Chad Pennington said it to us perfectly. He goes, I'm a coach pleaser. I try to run the plays exactly the way they want it, but this game is about adversity and sometimes just reacting, so he wants to be more that way. Pull it down and run it when you have to.
2nd down and 4. And Martin dashes about a yard shy of the first. What Chad really talked about was how he felt like he had become almost too robotic. So he went back and looked at his tapes from his Marshall days, looked at 2 games, and he said it was much more free-flowing and improvisational back then. It's not too late, folks, to run your own fantasy league with CBS Sports Line's Fantasy Football Commissioner. Start your free trial today. Click on Fantasy Football, CBSSportsLine.com. The Jets, third and a little less than a yard. Jump pass to Coles for the first down. Again, there was pressure coming in, closing in on the quarterback, but he got it away. John Browning was chasing after Chad. Coles with his third snag here in the first half. He was a third-round pick back in 2000 out of Florida State. These two developed quite a chemistry. Coles ended up in Washington for 2 years and then traded back for Santana Moss this offseason.
Lavernius Coles has a little chip on his shoulder. You need a few guys like that, and he helps his football team.
Run of 5 for Curtis Martin, and back to New York we go. And Greg with an update.
Jim, in Pittsburgh, let's bring back Phil's words. Just what is a sophomore jinx? Ben Roethlisberger, 63 yards to Antoine Randall L. So far, Roethlisberger, 6 of 7, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10-point Steeler lead. Just under 9 minutes to play in the first half.
Wow. After Tennessee got on the board with a touchdown toss to Ben Troop, back come the Steelers in a big way.
Well, the Steelers struggled on offense in the preseason, but Tennessee might be a good place to start. Their defense.
Play action, 2nd and 5, and a pick. And a pick here by Surtain with a flag down. Surtain has running room, and Pennington the only one left, but he took away the angle. So that gave Brandon Moore a chance to finish him off at the 20, but we do have a flag. Surtain is down.
Going to be holding, I think, against the Chiefs.
Surtain surrounded by 4 immediately.
Holding on the offense, number 89. That penalty is declined. First down, Kansas City.
Jets turn it over for the 2nd time. Both times it's Surtain who ends up with the football on a fumble recovery. And now a pick. He remains on the turf. We'll be back to Kansas City in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. Rethink TV. Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, where improving home improvement never ends. And My Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
Back in Kansas City, and Patrick Surtain was still down on the field after his 2nd takeaway, and a run back that was some 52 yards in the return before he was driven to the turf by Brandon Moore.
Brandon Moore hustling, grabs him. Surtain not able to really protect himself as he hits the ground. He is face down, but now he is laying on his back.
Surtain has been through all kinds of emotions here in the last 2 weeks. The New Orleans native, and he's
sitting up.
He's sitting up. He had to go one span 4 days without hearing from his father. Father Al Seed, who was airlifted 5 days after the levees broke in New Orleans, now is over in Houston. Meanwhile, his mother Pamela is living with him. And Surtain had a lot of, sounded like an awful lot to say about where he was going to take his career. Of course, with the Dolphins last year, he kind of handpicked, and with the hug and everything. What a great sign here for Patrick Surtain. Frightening moment here for this Kansas City crowd, because he was laying flat for a long time without movement. But he wanted to come to Kansas City. He thought this was a place he could come and get a ring.
He knew the offense was good. He says, in Miami, we didn't have a good offense. He wanted to change the culture here in Kansas City about the defense.
Trent Green is knocked down by Sean Ellis on an incompletion. What about, let's go back, because now that Surtain's on his feet, here's the pick.
Patrick Surtain, and even Chad Pennington said it, when he was in Miami, great at reading the quarterback, comes off his receiver and comes across the field. He anticipates where Chad Pennington was looking. Pennington never saw him. And good hustle by Brandon Moore stops the touchdown.
Second down and 10. Green flings it. Man open. Inside the 10, it's Parker. And down at the 8 as the Chiefs are threatening again.
If that play looks familiar, it is familiar. They've already run it against David Baird on the outside before. Faking it down the field again. Another deep route and breaking outside. The Chiefs, they repeat plays. If it works, they'll try it again, and they'll go to it 3 or 4 times until you stop it. And nice catch by Sammy Parker.
I know Ty Law's on the other side, but we saw the Jets a number of times last year. I never saw David Baird get picked on like this.
But this is different, Jim. So many short passes in the NFL now. Kansas City Chiefs, their short pass is what we just witnessed right there. Just hand it off to the running back and mush them for about 4 or 5 yards.
That's Holmes for 4, and it'll be 2nd and goal to go for Kansas City. Their first 3 possessions, all scores. And piling up yardage along the way, including a 95-yard possession.
And it's just, you know what this does, Jim? It's the number of plays, the yards, the effort. The defense just gets tired, especially week 1 when you're not really in condition to go a full game.
2nd and goal. Green out of the pocket, now lobs it out of bounds. The area of Horns. 3rd and goal coming up for Kansas City. You know, though, again, there was a penalty on the Surtain interception, and here's what happened. Watch this little tussle.
Baker against Jared Allen, down, took him down, hit him, punch him, take his helmet off. Well, this must have been brewing.
They're not done.
Now they're going to punch it. Oh, man, that was
a little unfair at this point.
Well, you know what's going to happen? They're going to hear from a few people in the NFL. Because they forget that we show it on TV. They watch every play on films in the NFL headquarters, and you do something that's illegal, they'll get you.
He called it on Baker. Here's 3rd and goal. Kansas City to the end zone and an interception. Ty Law with the pick. Looking around, will he take a knee? Now he does. He weighed his options, and he said, let's take it out to the 20. So, just what the Jets had to have.
Ty Law, watch him in the corner. He did this against Peyton Manning many times. Baited him into a throw behind him, and he reacts and makes the interception.
Being from New Orleans, I know how desperate those people are in the situation they're in. And, you know, they really didn't have nothing before the hurricane, and now, you know, they don't have anything. So whatever you can do, if you feel in your hearts to help those people, I'm pretty sure they'll greatly appreciate it. And it's all about people helping people now.
Here are the Jets from the 20. Wow. And a loss of 3. You heard the thoughtful words of Patrick Surtain. People helping people, and if you would like to help, if you haven't already, we encourage you to do so. 1-800-HELP-NOW or www.redcross.org.
Nice man, Patrick Surtain. Really enjoyed talking to him, and all those years in Miami, I never really got to know him. But they have taken him off the field. Hopefully everything is okay. 2 big members, Surtain and Ryan Sims, now the game for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Second down at 13, try to cross him up, back to Curtis, looking outside. And Dwayne Washington, who has come in for Patrick Surtain, a long-time veteran of the league who started all the games last year for Jacksonville. Before that was with Pittsburgh. Here he is. Dwayne Washington bumps him out of bounds. 3rd and 8 coming up for New York.
Nice to have him as a backup, but Jim, the guy that made the play, Sammy Knight, my gosh, from 15, 20 yards back, saw it, took off, and just forced Curtis Martin right out of bounds along with Dwayne Washington. But the Kansas City run defense, what a difference from last year. A whole different looking defense here early.
3rd down and 8. Good protection. Pass complete. First down, and there's Baker flipping through the air for 10 and a first.
Pass protection, it just does it all. Look at all the time. Chad Pennington went through about 3 to 4 receivers and finally found the receiver that gave him the best chance to pick up the first down. And Baker, boy, he's bringing it out. He wants to be part of this offense. He wants to be the receiving tight end. And we saw he had a little anger on him in that penalty he got on that block against Jared Allen.
First down for the Jets. Now to close in on. And the rookie knocks it loose. Another fumble. But the Jets recover. That's the third time Pennington's had it knocked loose in this half.
Well, we talked about him being more spontaneous, moving with it, but when you move, they're fast. You need 2 hands on the ball. And you know what? He's going in unfamiliar territory, Chad Pennington. He hasn't moved around a lot in his career, so he's just got to get used to it. I like what he's trying, but the results have not been very good so far.
Curtis Martin saved it for the Jets. He fell on it. Loss of 5. Derek Johnson, that blazing speed for the rookie from Texas. 2nd and 15. And again, it's back to Martin. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage is all.
Well, so far, the Jets last year, they'd come out, line up, and they'd punch in the mouth, and they could run the football. Well, they're getting, it's all the other way so far today.
We're coming to the 2-minute warning. 17-0 Kansas City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new Sprint. Sprint, yes you can. And by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40.
We're back here in Kansas City, the MetLife Blimp. Snoopy 1. Cruising over the skies here of Arrowhead Stadium. At Kansas City. Come out of this 2-minute warning with the Jets. 3rd and long. Wayne Corbett in a slot to the right. 3rd and 15. The blitz picked up. Pennington's pass behind Coles. And back out, we'll see Ben Graham to punt.
Well, what made this pass incomplete was just the pressure. Chad Pennington, here comes the blitz up the middle. Good timing, Kawika Mitchell. What a block by Curtis Martin. But just a little anxious to get rid of the football. You can see Lavernius Coles wide open over the middle.
Ben Graham, the oldest rookie to ever make an opening day roster in the history of the league. The former Australian rules football star. Played for the Geelong Cats. He's a fullback. He's punting here, and he punts it end over end. That's something the Jets have liked. It's a different way of booting the ball, and they figure it's going to cause some problems during the season for the returners.
They just don't want it in the middle of the field like that.
Thursday, September 22nd on CBS. Don't miss TV's next great thriller. Mandy Patinkin and Thomas Gibson star in Criminal Minds. Again, premiering Thursday, September 22nd on CBS, America's #1 network. Holmes in the backfield. Chiefs 17-0. With 1:46 to go in the first half. Flag is thrown. Pass over to Holmes, probably coming back. Might be on Jordan Black trying to hold off John Abraham.
Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And that's Black again getting the start today for Kevin Sampson with a sprained big toe. He might be back next week. Sampson at the right tackle position.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. And then Brian Waters, who didn't practice the last few days for the Chiefs, starting right guard. He makes it. He's back in the lineup today. Or I should say left guard. John Abraham, though, no training camp. They put him in there in obvious passing situations.
First and 20, they fake the pass. They go up the middle to Holmes. And he he's hit by Jonathan Vilma.
I think, Jim, you was talking about John Abraham. Herm Edwards said it was pretty good, and he goes, when he watched him in practice one day, he goes, ooh, we don't have any of those. Just because he's so dynamic physically. You need guys like that to make it happen on the field.
Jets call a timeout.
Protect this house.
You beat the big guys every year. You know they can't touch you. They know they can't touch you. How does the team stay motivated?
If you don't get motivated when you put on the armor, then you ain't got a pulse, man.
Fourth down, the ball sits at the Under Armour 10-yard line. Goliath down to its last shot.
Coming up shortly, the Sprint halftime report with Greg and Dan, Shannon and Boomer, and special guest Jerry Rice. They'll have all the scores and the highlights and a preview of the Agassi Federer Men's U.S. Open Final, which we'll have later today on CBS. It's all coming up. Sprint halftime report. There's some changes on the offensive line here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Jim, you pointed out, Willie Rolfe is now out at left tackle, so now they got Chris Bober in at right tackle, and they took Jordan Black and moved him over to the left side. So this is a tough situation, and of course the defensive ends for the New York Jets, they notice sitting there going, this is nice.
Rolfe is out with a hamstring, and it's possible, they're telling us from the Chiefs bench, that he'll return. It is possible. And Patrick Surtain, word just coming up, they're saying a concussion for Surtain, questionable that we'll see him the rest of the day.
Well, that's three. Willie Rolfe, Surtain, and Ryan Sims. That is three quality players missing from the Chiefs team already.
We talked about how the Jets feared coming out here and getting smoked early, which has been the case. On the other side, Dick Vermeil said our #1 objective is to play better the first quarter of the season. We have got to be tougher. Their schedule the following 3 weeks is just brutal.
Yeah.
Last year they started 0-3 and they never recovered.
Oh, I'm laughing, Jim, because they can't believe they're playing night games back-to-back weeks.
Range pass through the hands of Dante Hall.
It was intended for Dante Hall.
And the Chiefs
Coverage by Derek Strait.
have a 3rd and long coming up. Ellis and Abraham feasting on those 2 new tackles that have shifted around on that line. And they both put in some pressure on that play.
Yeah, I'm almost surprised the Kansas City Chiefs did not run the football there to make the Jets use a timeout and just work the clock.
At 1:26 to play, third in the first half, 3rd and 17. And they'll run it. Holmes. Brought down at the 29 by, again, Jonathan Vilma. For the first time today, we'll see Dustin Colquitt in as a punter. And the Jets, can they make something happen before the half? They called another timeout.
It didn't come gentle into the world. Blacked out. Born with 2 fists in the wind. The new 6-speed Dynastreet Bob motorcycle. Let there be dark. Ride one now at your Harley-Davidson dealer.
Jericho 1:21 to play in the second quarter, where the Jets came barreling through. They got a running start, no flag. Cotchery fields it at the 25 and loses his footing at the 32. They came in after the rookie punter from Tennessee, Dustin Colquitt. The crowd thought the Jets had jumped.
Well, it looked like they timed it so well, you'd swear they had to be offside. So they noticed something up inside.
Vilma almost got there. Kerry Rhodes, the rookie for New York, also coming in from the angle from the side.
Well, the punter was just too athletic. If he'd have landed normally, he definitely would have been taken out. Of course, he could have gotten hurt too.
So New York Football at the 32. They come out with 3 receivers and a shotgun. This Minnis, the shotgun the last time for Pennington, fumbled the snap. And fumbles it again. Chasing it down inside the 20 and falls on it at the 16. Can you believe this? And Pennington slow to get up. And he's on his feet now, but the Chiefs also with a player flying through there. Benny Sapp down.
Oh, it just caught Chad Pennington by surprise. He was not ready for the snap. He looked like he was trying to communicate outside.
Kevin Mawai snapped it over Pennington's head. You remember the trepidation with which Chad talked about going to the shotgun.
Yeah, he did, and he finally got confident with the shotgun snap as the week went on with the Jets. Jim, we talked about it. He was going to say no, and I got a feeling in the second half he might get his way and he might be into the center again.
Yeah, he said I wasn't going to use it early in the week, but as the week went on, I got comfortable with it. Pretty uncomfortable to watch right now.
Look at Chad Pennington. He's looking out to his right side. He's trying to tell everybody the signals. Kevin Mawai looks like Pennington is definitely not ready for the snap. And boy, he gets landed on there. When you go to the ground, it's like a boxer. Protect yourself at all times. And Kevin Mawai will be charged with the fumble there.
Benny Sapp of the Chiefs, who was down. And as a result, we had an injury timeout. He's back on his feet. 56 seconds to go in the half. So the Jets' plans to try to do something here last minute of the first half.
They're gone.
Certainly foiled with that 20-yard setback.
You know, not only that, you know, I really like the shotgun. I can't imagine that you would play in the league nowadays and not want to be in the shotgun as a quarterback. And look at that. Last season, 5 fumbles the whole year and lost 2. Already 4 fumbles today. And very fortunate he hadn't lost more than 1 of them. This will probably be a draw to Curtis Martin.
Second down and 30. And right you are, Phil. Right ahead to the 17. Now will the Chiefs call the timeout? They do. Dwayne Washington alertly finds a striped shirt.
Well, you're the Jets. You know, you just, man, let's get off the field. Let's see if he can go in at halftime and regroup, because really 17-0, that is by far the best you could expect from all that's gone wrong for him so far. Well, Jim, you talked about in the pregame, what was your first question to me? How about this Kansas City defense? Well, the first half has been tremendous success. Everything they wanted. Guys that could intercept passes, pressuring the quarterback, playmakers, and they've had a lot of different players step up so far. Gunther Cunningham on the sideline. As Derek Johnson described him, the rookie linebacker from Texas, he searched for words, and he goes, he's passionate.
Yes.
That's a good way.
Coach Cunningham, now he's passionate. He understood what he meant. 3rd and 24, and again, they'll run it. Here's the Chiefs here to take a timeout. With 42 seconds.
Saving your timeouts. This is when it becomes important.
So all the timeouts have been used on both sides. Next Saturday on CBS, we've got a day-night doubleheader. College football, the Home Depot SEC on CBS season premiere. Alabama and South Carolina in the afternoon. Then Tennessee and Florida will meet next Saturday night. It all starts with the TIAA Prep College football today. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman next Saturday. Doubleheader day. All gets started with the pregame show at 3 o'clock on CBS. Now Ben Graham back out for the 3rd time. And Dante Hall, they don't want to do anything to let the ball return one today.
Kick it out of bounds, as Herm Edwards says. He's a video game.
Yeah, that's all he is.
Bounces everywhere. And 2 years ago, he single-handedly won about 3 games for the Kansas City Chiefs.
A living, breathing, walking video game. And this is a big, high, booming kick. And they won't let Hall return this one, as the rookie punter has that one sail 52 yards. Summarize this game, I mean, really quickly. After a 35-yard run by Priest Holmes, the next play, Larry Johnson went 35 for a score. Their second series, a 95-yard drive with Holmes taking it the final yards for the touchdown, plus a field goal, timed from 41. They could have gone in again, but Ty Law with an end zone interception. But for that matter, the Jets also committed a turnover in the red zone.
Seems like the Jets have had a lot of turnovers today, but so far, you know, you try to look at these games, and just to make it simple, Kansas City, their big guys are just winning the war. They're just much more productive, more physical, and they've won the battle up front so far, or they did in the first half.
3 receivers in the game. Larry Johnson, the running back. And Green's pass, and no one in the area except David Barrett. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Now this tip pass, what it does, good tip passes usually happen. It's not the low release of the quarterback. It's not all these. It's penetration by defensive linemen. So they get their hands up, they get in the quarterback's face. That's why they knock it down. But that tip pass, that might make Al Saunders go, okay, let's run it and maybe get out of this first half.
2nd and 10, 31 seconds. Will they run it? Stay up top. Abraham closing in on him. And Green is hit, almost intercepted by Eric Barton. I think this time they'll rethink the strategy.
Well, if they throw it again, then they're looking for trouble. But it's changed. Wow, Trent Green we saw this almost happen to Chad Pennington in the first half, but John Abraham is just having his way outside.
Green now 1 of his last 9, and again, he had that procedure a week ago, the vascular surgery to relieve the numbness he had in his left leg. He found some blockage, and he says it's not a big deal. He moved on. Here's Larry Johnson picking up yardage, and that'll close out the half with another sizable run by Johnson. 12 yards on that carry. Well, I tell you, the Chiefs, they've run to the line here with 8 seconds. The Jets thought they were going to the locker room. Able to shake free. Green, not this time. He is sacked by Abraham, actually a combined sack, and Dwayne Robertson. Thought they might catch the Jets off guard, be able to toss one down the field on the sideline, maybe set up a field goal try. But they'll head to the locker rooms. One-sided it has been. Let's go back down to Bonnie.
Herm Edwards, when you look at this first half, how much will you say, wow, the Chiefs defense is really getting after Chad Pennington, and how much will you say, my quarterback's just not right?
Well, I think it's a case of both. I think they did a good job early. They got up to a big league, something we talked about, not turning the ball over, not committing fouls, and we did that. But we slowed them down a little bit now with our defense at 17-0. We get the ball in the second half. That'll be a key if we can put some points on the board when we come back out.
His Jets, thank you, Bonnie, will have the football first to start the second half. They have been swamped here in Kansas City on a steamy day. 17-0 Kansas City. We'll send it back to New York when the NFL and CBS continues.
At Survivor Guatemala.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, yes you can.
Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to our studios here in New York, the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, and we are pleased to be joined by Jerry Rice, former wide receiver in the National Football League. Let's run down the scores and highlights for you. We'll start, Boomer, with the Jets of Kansas City, where they've been totally outclassed.
Well, we talked about this, how difficult of an opening game this was going to be going into Arrowhead Stadium as Larry Johnson goes down the left sideline, untouched for a touchdown. Donnie Henderson's got to be concerned by this. But how about this one? Priest Holmes, he's going to be scored a touchdown, but we'll see in the replay that this is not a touchdown, and the Jets elect not to go to the replay. Right there, he's down. Ball has not crossed the goal line or broken the plane. 17-0. Chad Pennington's getting beat around pretty good, guys.
What do you think, Jerry?
I think it's a good football game, but it's hard to go into Arrowhead and try to get a win. And Kansas City is playing well right now, and we have to see what happens. You know, somehow they got to get back in the ball game. If not, you know, Kansas City going to blow them out completely.
Yeah, it gets a little noisy in Kansas City. Dan, Denver in Miami against the Dolphins.
And there's Nick Saban on the sideline, his first time on the sideline for the Miami Dolphins. And Gus Ferraro looked
pretty good in the first half, except for this one right here. He gets knocked off a little bit, and Champ Bailey intercepts the ball, which leads to a 4th down stand by the Miami Dolphins. Zach Thomas and the boys come up big there, 6-3. Dolphins playing better than actually the score indicates.
Houston against the Buffalo Bills. Shannon.
1st and 10. J.P. Lossman in his first start. Up top to the speedster, Lee Evans. Playing him down hard. Buchanan settle for a Ryan Lindell field goal. 3-0 at this point, Buffalo. David Carr here doesn't find anything. He's going to scramble down to the 1. Sets up 4th and goal at the 1. Take matters into my own hand. Nobody can do it better than I can, says David Carr. He gets into the end zone, makes it 12-7. Tackle eligible. Jason Peters, 1-yard touchdown. 19-7, Buffalo.
Ryan Lindell having himself a good day. 19-7 Bills in the lead. Meanwhile, Tennessee at Pittsburgh, Dan.
And early on, Steve McNair with a nice little play action left, rolls to the right, finds Ben Troop wide open, breaks a tackle for a touchdown, puts them up 7-0 early. Then Ben Roethlisberger does what he does best, rolls out, finding Heath Miller for a touchdown. Then another play action pass, sets up, he wants to go deep to Antoine Randall L. The safety misplays the ball, 63-yard touchdown. The Steelers are dominating right now. And then also here's an 11-yard touchdown run. Willie Parker, the young kid who's in there for Jerome Bettis and Deuce Staley, having a great afternoon. The Steelers are taking advantage of the Tennessee.
Willie Parker, 18 carries, 100 yards rushing. All of that helped Ben Roethlisberger, doesn't it?
Yes, without a doubt. And I think Ben, he's very comfortable back there right now. And, you know, he gave Randall L. an opportunity to make a play on the ball, and he did.
Cincinnati and Cleveland, Boomer.
How about Frisman Jackson? How about the Cincinnati defense?
You want to win? Put Frisman Jackson in.
You're exactly right. Nobody's there to tackle, but I'll tell you what, Carson Palmer is showing why everybody in Cincinnati is so excited. Leading his team down in a 2-minute drill towards the end of the first half. Right here, he hits Kevin Walter for a touchdown. Bengals are up 17-10. Pretty good ball game right here between Trent Dilfer and Carson Palmer.
Elsewhere around the league, the Saints on the road beating the Panthers at halftime 14-7. Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Also at halftime, the Bucs with a 10-point lead. The Chicago Bears in Washington. The Redskins lead it at the break 6-0. And Seattle is at Jacksonville, where at halftime the Jaguars lead it or trail 14-13. Our sprint question of the week: who will be this year's surprise team? The Arizona Cardinals, you say, by 35%. We remind you, U.S. Open tennis follows football here on CBS with the men's championship between Roger Federer and Andre Agassi. And for more, let's go to Dick Enberg and Patrick McEnroe.
It's a perfect day here for a perfect final. The National Tennis Center, a capacity crowd will be rooting for Andre Agassi. Many recall his debut as a 16-year-old phenom with hair to spare. He's gone on to capture a pair of titles here and a world audience. Now at age 35, he's in his 6th U.S. Open final. Patrick McEnroe, it would be magical. It would be a dream for Agassi to win, but he's facing a nightmare across the net.
He sure is, Dick. It would be the biggest moment of his career if he could win this. But Roger Federer has been absolutely brilliant in the last year. This is one of the great records to me in the history of the game, how dominant he's been in the last year. 61-1 on hard courts, 12 titles, a couple of majors, 22 straight finals. Andre's going to have to get off to a good start. He's been able to serve well, win some cheap points there, obviously get the crowd into it, as they like to say in the NFL, Dick, on any given Sunday.
So it'll be Andre Agassi, the sentimental favorite against Roger Federer, best in the world, looking to win back-to-back U.S. Opens. We'll have it for you right after football.
Tennis follows football here on CBS. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Second half of your game coming up after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, yes you can.